Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, She Will Prevail. For some time, I have been throwing ideas to the back burner and getting lost along the way through cooking and staying put inside my tiny apartment. As an admirer of Italian food, traveling, photography, and writing short novellas, I decided to combine these passions into a video blog. The timing simply feels right, as I recently booked a flight to Italy for the spring of 2020. I will be exploring the culture, taking on cooking classes, and letting the journey unfold in the most natural way possible. My goal is to embrace inspiration there and one day serve communities homemade Italian grub back in the States. I believe that by putting myself out in a new light and documenting this new chapter, it will hold me accountable. To be completely honest, I never imagined that my life would present itself behind a computer, crunching numbers for the next 50 years. Humanity is meant for something so much more, and I refuse to settle. Getting to this point in my life has been challenging, but worth it. The content I create will be raw, honest, humorous, and vulnerable. To kick this off, I want to share something with you that I wrote a few months back. It is about a life experience from the winter of 2018. The story is not complete by any means, and I'm not sure it ever will be, but it provides a small window into what led me here today. One last thing before I read that piece. As you may have noticed early in the video, the screen presented is completely blank. I am speaking to you from my bathtub because, let's be real, everyone must start somewhere. Future videos will entail actual people and places. And as a student of minimalism, I will keep the video logs short because I want to make the most of your time. Back to what I mentioned earlier about this unfinished story. This past time in my life has given me more courage than I ever deemed possible. So sit back, relax, and listen as I read along. Life has a way of throwing us sideways and completely off balance. On a sunny December day in Denver, I was struck from behind while attempting to make a right-hand turn on a one-way street. Chaos ensued as my Jeep flipped over onto the driver's side door from the brunt force, frantically trying to escape the smoke-filled vehicle with the help from a police officer, exiting physically unscathed by climbing up and then out through the passenger door. This wreck served as a pivotal moment. At the time of the accident, I was 3 days away from returning to my home state of Ohio. Mental preparation already taking a toll given the circumstances back in the Buckeye State. While standing on the side of the road, I broke down crying. A stranger that witnessed the accident wrapped me in her gentle arms. There was no escaping her touch as I expressed my anguish. A severely vulnerable experience was at play, and I attempted to refrain from sharing personal information. Our interaction was brief, yet personally moving, given her compassion and my invitation of acceptance. Once leaving the scene of the accident, I would arrive at my 550 square foot apartment in the heart of Capitol Hill. Uncertain about what steps to take next, I plopped down on a yellow corduroy couch, completely dazed. The next few days after the accident felt like a total blur, with my body slowly aching. I would eventually fly from Denver to Detroit and rent a car to cross state lines into Ohio. The journey back to my hometown of Cuyahoga Falls was initially scheduled for a short duration over the 2018 Christmas holiday. An unexpected turn of events would extend my time there for nearly 3 months. There was nothing I could do at the time that would have prepared me for what lied ahead. Earlier in the year, I started therapy. I remember showing up to the first session extremely nervous and skeptical, anxiety being the main culprit. Thoughts of uncertainty circled through me. How would I disclose the last 32 years of my life? Doubting that my past experiences were not worthy of healing with the help from a licensed therapist. I was a champion of self-reliance for most of my life. As the personal battles grew more suffocating over the years, my sense of pride softened. Changing old patterns were of the inevitable. A choice to pursue personal growth had been on the horizon. Instead of hibernating within the confines of my comfort zone, I chose to knock down the barricades. Therapy would become the new foundation that I could build upon. After dedicating 5 consecutive months to therapy, I would without a doubt willingly enter the most devastating challenge yet. These experiences that unfolded were unimaginable. My family and I would closely share a new chapter of life together as we encountered an unfamiliar environment. Survival mode ignited with great force as we witnessed the unthinkable. I remember pulling up to the family household that December day in 2018 with mixed emotions, filled with wonder, glimpses of hope, and sadness. My Honorable Father Richard was battling the Big C, and there were no recent signs of improved health. He became first diagnosed 7 years prior, and in between that time entered remission, but the beast returned with even greater vengeance. The severity of the disease would reach new heights.